today we'll be looking at how to make flyers, e-flyers and normal flyers. Okay, now as you can see on the screen, we have about 4 posters in all. Let me name them so that you could have an idea. Okay, now as I progress, I'll be telling you shortcuts and all of that that you need for Coreldraw. Okay, I selected the text tool. This is the text tool, and I quickly typed 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I want to separate them individually. What do I do? The shortcut is Ctrl K. Just press Ctrl K on your keyboard, and you will see what happens. Ctrl K. See now, that separated them. So now I can label each poster individually 1, 2, 3, and 4. The essence of labeling is so that you can understand as we progress which one I'm on. So let's start with number 1. Okay. Okay, so now this is a landscape format. I took your attention to it in the previous video. I showed you the portrait and landscape format. So this is the landscape format. Now you come down here, you right click, insert a page either before or after, but me I choose to insert it before. Okay, now this is portrait. See, my page is on portrait. I want to make it landscape. I've changed it to landscape. I'm okay with A5 because it's a flyer and I'm okay with it. But assuming it's a DP design, I want to use it for WhatsApp DP or for WhatsApp status or for Instagram. What I need to do is to change my dimension here. Make it an equal square. So if this is 210 millimeter, then that shows if the breadth is 210 millimeter, it shows that the length will also be 210 millimeters. I hope you understand. Now this is a perfect square, DP size square. Okay, so we'll still be working with that. That's the last sample we'll be doing, but let's proceed. So we are working with A5, right? A5. Okay, then you can also change your, maybe you are not sure of maybe millimeters. You can always change it to either inches or pixels, but me, I like working with inches. I want to go to inches. But by the time you are designing banners, you are designing for billboards, all these large formats stuffs, you will need to get your dimensions in feet. Yeah, like that's how you hear 3 feet by 4 feet, 2 by 2, all of that. But for now, we are working with inches. Okay, so like I said, we are working with the landscape format. So let me copy this. Either you can right click and copy, or you just press Ctrl C on your keyboard and then copy and paste. Ctrl V is for pasting. So now you see these boxes that were created here. This is what I want to start with. You'll be learning various techniques here, so just be attentive. Now under this you have polygon too. There are different types of polygons. You can see polygon, you can see star, complex. Okay, like I said, this is X8, so yours is X12. I mean yours is S12. So but you can just try to get it, find it on your own software. Okay, so let's begin. Let's select our polygon. I've selected our polygon. Okay, now this is what happens. We have how many sides here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 sides. How do we go about this? How do I make it 6 sides? Okay, I think this is where you come to adjust it on top. You see, you can change it. This is now a triangle. This is another, see, it depends on how many angles you want, but we are looking for 6. Yes, so I think we are getting there. Or at times, if your customer says they want exactly what you have here, what do you do? Like I said, I told you earlier on in the previous video that to put the center of page is Ctrl P. Okay, not Ctrl P. Just put it to the center of the page, enlarge it to the size, the dimension you want to use, and then you keep using the format like you follow what you have here. Follow what you have here. Take verbatim. Let me use the word verbatim so that you don't miss out anything. Okay, that's when your customer says they want exactly the same thing. Okay, how did I do that? Duplicating. I've told you earlier on about that. You hold on to the object you want to duplicate. Then as you are moving it with your left key, let me do it again. You hold on to it as you are moving it with your left key. You right click again. Okay, or better still, you can now begin to duplicate, or you press Ctrl R so that it can replicate. Okay, so now you try to centralize everything. Either make it equilibrium or centralize everything will come to the middle, but no, that's not what I want. Just press E will make everything be at equilibrium. Okay, so okay, yeah, so we can proceed now. I just carry it, still that same tip of duplicating, carry it, and then you put this last extra hexagon here, and then the same thing too with this one. You put it, and that will be all. Instead of you starting afresh and start looking for how will I do this, how will I do that, this one just gives you high. Now this is your text too. Just type it a higher plane. At times they will tell you they want exactly the same font, so you have to look for the same font, or you look for something that is similar, very similar to it. And this is actually, this area is looking like it. Yes, looking like it. So you change the color. This is same white. I'm not okay with that color. So, and I told you in the previous video. So right click, view, color palette. See now, just click on RGB. I want to remove that default because the default is not what I want. The default color palette is the RGB and same white. Okay, yes. So yeah, this is the black I want, and then see. So yeah, we're almost there. This is just a logo. Let me just put something just to represent this. Okay, then this actually works. Those lines you see, you can use your pen tool or your Bezier tool. This is the pen tool. You hold on to shift to make sure that it's on a straight line. It's on a straight line, or you will be careful when you are drawing the line. But in order to just, maybe if you have limited time, just hold on to shift, and that will be all. Then click that point again, and then you press control space bar on your keyboard, and that will be all. Then you can also use the duplicating trick again to duplicate the other lines. like this. Press your control, and then you delete the ones that you don't want. I actually like shortcuts because of time having to deal with your clients. See, and then there are words here. Okay, yeah. So like I said, make sure that everything is at equilibrium. You press E on your keyboard, then you move it down. Just make sure you adjust it to whatever position. This is meant to be centralized. Okay, lest I forget, we forgot to draw our box. Yes, duplicate. That's the shortcut for me. Duplicate on your rectangle, and then your box appears. Instead of you having to start drawing, adjusting, hey, this line is not going. Just duplicate on and then it appears. So you fill it with your color, white, yellow, gray, anything you want. So let's just use this shade for now. When we are through, fill it with white. Then you can see that there are numbers there. There's 2000. Let's say 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2000. So like that. Yeah, that's how. Okay. Yeah. Do you know that we are almost done? We are almost done with this particular design. And then press Ctrl K to, when you are sure that the right font is the right size you want to use. What do you now do? You change the color to your preferred color. You come here, change the size. Okay. So okay. Yeah. So after doing that, you can just duplicate others too, so that the follows it in case you don't want to type again. I'm deleting them because I think I carried the extra. Okay, now you can align them by pressing E. Okay. Okay. Oh, please always, like I have not mentioned in the previous videos, always ensure that you save at intervals. You know, if it is every 15 minutes, because Coreldraw, they crash before you know it, all your work has crashed, everything has gone. So always make sure you save. Control S is for saving, or you come to file and you save, or you put save as anyone. But please ensure that you save so that you don't begin your work all over again. Okay, now you will ask, how did they put all these pictures inside this hexagonal shapes, polygons? Okay, what do? You get your image, import. Control I is for importing. Yes. Okay, then select all the pictures you want to import at random. You select them. Okay, now see, it is asking you click and drag to resize, press enter to center on the page, or space bar. I think I would prefer to click and drag to resize it so that I can know where and what I'm about to put. Yes, so now I think this will be my first image. I'll put this one. I know you will be wondering what kind of magic does now. Okay, let me just take it to the longer process. On Corel 2018, the power clip option is under. It's under. Let me see. It's under objects. Place objects inside frame. So I want to place this particular tomato paste picture inside this hexagon. See what happens? Wow. You're wondering like, wow, how did this happen? It happened. Yes. So sorry about that. Okay, so this is what I want to appear, and yeah, and that's it. Okay, I think at this point I can delete the original image. Yeah, I can. Okay, and then I begin to place my tomato images inside one another. Okay, power clip. I told you, but inside Coreldraw, I think it should be. I'm not sure of where exactly. You might have to figure that out yourself. Either it should be under object or arrange. I think there's something like arrange on Corel 12 or effect. So just try and place it, and then let's say another one. Wow, is this not beautiful? You can power clip something all by yourself. Awesome. Okay, so but now let me teach you this shortcut instead of having to go through all that long process. Okay, so you click on the image and then you hold on with your right cursor on your mouse. You hold on to it and then you drag it to the shape that you want to power clip. And it gives you this option. Do you want to move it here? Do you want to copy here? Or do you want to power clip inside? Just press power clip inside. Wow, I clipped it inside. I said, that is so sweet. Yes. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Always make sure that you save. Okay, I want to power clip again. What did I tell you to do? Drag it with your right button on your mouse and then place it on the shape that you want it to enter. It's like you are placing the picture inside a container. Then once you place it inside, you double click it and then you try and adjust it to how you want the picture to show when it is outside the container. Or if you don't want to double click, you can just right click, and then as far as the object is inside the power clip case, all you just need to do is to right click and then you put edit power clip, and that's it. Or you can say extract content. When you say extract content, all the image comes out. So by the time you now try to move something on top of this image, the way you are seeing this X sign, anything can enter inside now. See it? Why? Because how will I say it now? It is in danger. It's ready to swallow up anything. So what do? Undo. Control Z is for undo. Yes. Then you now move it again back inside. Yeah. Or you can put another object inside if you want to replace it. Okay. So let's also power clip this one. I told you that you drag it with your right button and you power clip it inside. Same here with this. Power clip it inside and then you adjust it. Or you right click, edit content, then you move. Okay. So well, for me, normally I don't like using outlines. It depends on what you really want to achieve. But for this kind of, assuming I filled everything with pictures and images, what I would have done is to remove all the outlines inside the objects that have the images. Right click on this empty space. See where my arrow is? This empty space on top of your color palette. It helps to remove the outlines from the image. Let's undo. Control Z. See it now. I'm right clicking, not left click. When you left click, it removes. Assuming there's a color inside the shape, it will remove the color. But now I want to remove the outline. Just outline again. So now I've right click on it. The outline has been removed. These other ones I can just fill them with colors, just to add beauty to our design. Just add beauty to it, and then mix. Let me use yellow, and let's use just a neutral. Okay, let's use orange. Okay, now we are repeating the same process again. We want to remove the outline. You come here and remove your outline, and that will be all. So you You can always zoom in, zoom out to see, wow, we have done it. If you compare it with the previous image, you will see that it's similar to it. Yeah, you can see that it's similar to it. So now please, when you are working, always make sure that your work surface, your work area is always neat. Don't scatter images around it. Don't scatter images around your work surface. Okay, so let's do number 2. Our number 2 design is this particular one. Yeah, so don't forget, you create another page, right click before. Okay, I want to create this one. In order not to confuse it, it's my shape tool I'm using to crop this out though. Yeah, I don't want to see that one for now. Okay, so this is portrait format. So I changed it back from here. Yeah, I've changed it. The same A5. I'm still using A5 because I know that it's not far from A5 design. Yeah. Okay, so I'll just get a random image, Control I, and let's see how we can work with a particular image. Okay, let's just use this one. Okay, yes, you know that I'm actually working with this my grid lines that I put because of in case I need to print it and they want to cut, so that it will know. If I put it like this now, it's possible that by the time the printer wants to cut it, it can cut off part of the design. So that's why you should always work with your grid lines. And then I'll just write, buy 1 tin tomato, and get 1 for free. So you just get your desired fonts that you want to use. Okay, you can always search, but because I already have a list of fonts that I have. Okay, let's use Garamond. Okay, now I want to reduce this because I feel it's just too big, and then I put this here. Excuse me. Okay. Oh, I'm not satisfied. I can always change the font. Okay. And then make this bold. And then make this one too bold because that's the emphasis. 1 for free. Everybody be like, wow. Yeah, 1 for free. Okay, now let me buy. Okay, then I can decide to pick the color. This color eyedropper. So yeah, I can pick the red color here. I can say, okay, let me pick this orange color. I'll put it inside the tomato. Did you see what happened? By the time I picked this orange color, you see that everything changed. Why? Because they are all together. But applying that same principle again, Control K, it means that everything will be broken down. Everything will be broken down, and then I can now change them to my own desired color, pattern, and all of that. So let's continue. Okay, so okay, I want tomato and get 1 for free. Hold on to your shift, select tomato. I want them to be in this orange color. What do? I now you select my eyedropper tool and fill the color. That's the outline I'm filling. You zoom and fill, and then one for free. You see? Or if you want to make everything to be in caps, you can come here, insert character text, and make everything caps. Yes, makes everything caps. Then you can press C, everything will be centralized in the middle. If it is R, everything will be aligned to the right. If it is L, everything will be aligned to the left. I think I will do the left alignment. Yes. Then if it is E, everything will come to the middle. No, that's not what we want. So let's continue. Okay. 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 Yeah. Now see this. You can see the way there's like a white. This white box. You can see the shape. Now there are two ways to this. You can either draw two rectangles, one big one, one small one. Centralize it. That's E. Press E, and then you try to manipulate them and change it to the correct shape that you want. Or okay, let me show you. Okay, you now select this together, select the two shapes together, and then come to the upper part of your menu bar on top, your taskbar, and then you click on weld. It joins it together. So after joining it together, you can now think of, which one do I manipulate? You can see that it's slanting. So you can come here, select this, and then you delete this node. You see? You come here, and then delete. And that's all. That's all. Wow. You're like, wow. This is so. It's not difficult at all. After you have welded them together, all you just need to do is to use your shape tool to shaping it to your desired form, and then you fill it with color. So the color that you want, this is white because of the text that we have. So you can decide to also change. You can draw another rectangle, and then and right click, bring it to the front of layer so that it be on top of that particular shape. So I want to also pick the color from here. I'll pick that particular color and then fill it up, fill that shape up. Wow. Somebody, is it not interesting? Then you go back and select it too. Always make sure you remove your outlines. Right click on the empty space and remove the outline. This one I don't also need the outline, but because of this particular image, okay, let's see if it will work out. It's not so neat enough. Why? Because of the white part here. Okay. Let's leave it in white and then leave the outline. You can always increase this, change it to your desire. It's too big. Always make sure that your fonts and your write-up are proportional. Okay, so for the outline, you can decide to increase it just to add to the design. Increase the thickness of the outline, maybe just playing around it. Right click on your selected color is not too fine, it's looking too busy. So what do? You can power clip it inside this bigger rectangle. Okay, how do I mean? The same process of power clipping. Right click on, not right click, use your right key or your mouse and drag it to an empty space on the rectangle and then power clip. So by the time you double click inside, see what happens. You can now extend it, by yourself. I wouldn't want all those outlines to show outside them. So yeah, we're good to go. And then you exit it. Okay, the reason why this one is appearing on top of it because it's also not inside the rectangle. So all I need to do is to carry everything inside, including this one. You can see what's happening here. You can see what's happening. So I'll just cut it and then go and paste it inside and shift this, move this one up, order to the front of layer, and then that will be all. So this is how I choose to do my own design, and you too, you can come up with your own, but it's just these principles. And then your text follows. You can now, in writing, you can decide to write, like it depends on if you have a long, maybe you want to design a magazine, a brochure and all of that. After writing this one, after writing this one graphic, then you can now come here and you drag your typography to, so that you can write on a long paragraph. That is how they write all these in books, how these brochures are written, all these magazines and all of that. So you can decide to have several columns. This column can duplicate it. You have another column, duplicate, like that. So that's just the beauty of the text box too. Okay, so let's go to number 3 of our design, which is this particular label. Start another page before. I don't want that one to previous one to confuse me, so I use my shape tool to crop it out. Okay, always make sure you save. Now this is a landscape format. You get a desired image of yours. Okay, desired image of yours. So that you know, say zero tomato this lady has. Okay, let me check another. Okay, let's use this fruits. Yeah, so beautiful and a clean image. Okay, so like I said, double click on a rectangle so that this can appear. Then you power clip this inside. Either you come here, power clip, under objects, power clip, placing, and then yes. Okay, always remove your outline. Okay, and then the same principle applies. I want to draw that box that we saw. I told you one method, now I want to use another method. Press Ctrl Q, convert it to curve, and then you create. You have to use your own eye of judgment. You can decide to use your grid line to get your measurements so that you don't do the wrong thing. You select that part, and then okay, I can see that this one is the first one. Then there's another one here, and then there's another one. And you drag this one. you can use your grid horizontal line to be sure that it's on a straight line. Okay, and then you come here, you drag this one like this, and then come down and drag it like this. Okay. For this one, you might not be able to get it except you already have an artistic eye before. You get? But if you don't have an artistic eye, it might be kind of difficult to really achieve something like this. So let's. For that first method I taught you about welding two rectangles together and then just shaping it to your desired shape. Okay, so this is it. I can decide to now draw another rectangle inside. Maybe pick one of the colors from here. Use your eyedropper to no, I don't want orange again. Let me use this shape. Okay, and then yes, okay, and then your write-up can come here, all the other write-ups can come here. Then now there might be a little bit conflicting things with the text. Why? Because let's write happy Easter. If I use white to write on this, it will be lost. Yes. If I use black, you can still see it. If I use excuse me. Okay. So another thing you can do to make sure that your text comes out on a particular image is to use, just watch. Okay, now you draw a box, fill the color. Let's assume, okay, let me fill it with black. Okay, now this shape is on top of the text. We can't see it yet, but just watch. So you come to your use your transparency tool, then you click on multiply. See what happens. You can see that it's a little bit faint. Now under that multiply, you can now reduce the opacity. Increase or reduce it. Either you can come up here, increase it, reduce it. Okay, then you now bring your text, bring it up. Shift up. You can also use shift page up. That's another shortcut. Shift page up. If you want the text to go down, you use shift page down, and then you arrange it to your desired. So by the time you use, voila. So you can now change. You can change it to any font that you like. Okay, and then happy Easter. So you can, all your write-ups can enter. We bring you. Let's continue like that, and that'll be all. Okay. On the final note, excuse me, please. We want to do this. Now, this particular design is the third page before. This particular design is a DP page design, and I've told you about it before. Now we are working with inches, so I want it to be, let's say, 9 by 9. It's a perfect square, so it can be 10 by 10, it can be 2 by 2, it can be 3 by 3. It can be 2 by 3 inches of 2 by 2 inches, 4 by 4. So, or you think I'm lying? Let's use this to ascertain. Yeah, so you see, we are right? Okay. So double click, Use your eyedropper to select that color. Yes. Right click on the empty space to remove your outline. Okay. Now you get your text box and write out the name, web creation made easy. Okay, so Ctrl K to divide the one I don't want. Okay, now let me look for, I think it should be Calibri. It should be Calibri. Is it? It's close to it. It's close to it. Okay, or area round. Okay. Not exactly. Okay, close to it. Yeah. So this is orange. You also use your eyedropper again to select it. The color. You put it orange. Now you want to change the outline. Press F12. The function key 12, and then you change the outline. I think because of its thickness, so let's use 4. You come here, round corner. It depends. If the text is a sharp edge, you leave it on the metered corner, but if it is not, round corner and then round cap behind fill. Always make sure you select this and scale with object. Why? Because if you don't do that, by the time you expand the image, maybe upon printing or whatever you want to do, if you reduce or expand, the outline will become, it will either be bigger or be smaller, and which you do, it will deform. Let me use the word deform. So but once you select that function F, once you select the this behind fill and scale with objects, you are good to go. Even if you expand it, it will still maintain that. But this is looking smaller than what we have here, so you can always go back and press your function 12, or you come here on the right corner of your screen and then you double click, come back here and increase the width. We are almost getting there. Okay. Always make sure you select it and then come here. Let's use 12. Yeah, so let's use white. Right click and put white there. Okay, and then web creation made easy. Area around, and then you put your color white. Okay, and then always make sure you save. Like I said, now we want to replicate what we have here. How many shapes can you see? We have about 2 shapes. Let me shock you. Now you draw your circle. You get your rectangle, your rectangular box, right? Okay. Like I said, it is either you put this particular design on top of this so that you can do it exactly, or if you have an artistic eye, creative eye, you can just be looking at it and be trying to do it. So let's see how far I can go with this. And then you draw your rectangle again, you rotate it like this. And reduce the size because it's on the hand, and then you put something like this. Now you select your shape tool and then see it makes it curve. But if you press Ctrl Q at this point, it curve. If I now want to press Ctrl Q, see what happens. It changes it, so I can always deform it anyhow I want. But that's not what I want. So you can just leave it without even deforming it, and then you can duplicate this. Okay, and then you rotate it. Rotate by clicking on the object again. Yeah, and then I think we are good to go with something like that. Right? So now how do I make sure that everything joins together? You select this, and then come here. You select your weld and see it joins. But something is wrong. Why? Because I didn't place it well. So what do? I try to adjust it from here. Yes, and then select everything again and weld. Okay, I think I'm good to go. And then I fill it with orange color. Yeah, remove my outline, power clip it inside. Okay, I've not power clipped it, so it cannot go. I have to power clip it inside and then move it. Excuse me. Okay, and then now this cloud effect too. It's you know, I think about 3 circles, different types of circles. This one, this circle, and then a bigger one. Okay, then you fill all of them with white. Remove the outline. You can even still weld them if you want to. Okay, but I have to make sure that it all aligns with what I have here. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then yes. So, and now I can reduce. You can see that one is after doing that, I can now shift page down. It's for sending it to the back. Okay, so my transparency tool comes here, reducing the opacity. I've reduced it. Okay, now see what happened. Because I did not weld the images together, that is now showing me this because of the transparency tool. But this is a different design of its own and I don't want this. So what do? Weld everything together and then it comes like this. You understand? So this is like what we have there. And then we're good to go. Okay. Yeah. So I think you understand these basic tools now. Designing is very easy. So all you just need to do is just to keep exploring these tools and you will see that everything will fall in place.